'Twas the week before Christmas, and all through Penryn, every student was thinking, what a great year this has been. Each stocking was hung around the Innovation Lab by a Lego hook, in hopes that a certain visitor would come have a look. The school year it began in a marvelous way. Captain America and Spider-Man were there to greet us on that very first day. They waved and they posed, greeted each family with a smile. Miss Reed stood and posed too, showing off her superpowers for a while. The students then entered the building excited and loud. Being in a new class with a new teacher left each one feeling so proud. The upper grade students carrying Chromebooks on their back reminds us of Santa carrying his sack. The hallways have been named. You'll find the gold wing on the left and the spirit on the right. And check out the blue wing. It was updated with new ceilings and lights. Mr. Walsh's classes and the music room where you sing all must pass as they travel to the cafeteria in the new alumni wing. Over the summer, the Penryn class of 2034 added some little guys. Mrs. Buchanan had Lucas, Mrs. Moore welcomed Eli. More recently, Mrs. Morris had Callie, a sweet little joy. Due next is Mrs. Green's baby. Do you think it's a girl or a boy? Many new faces appeared at our school, new teachers and staff. Mrs. Liskowitz is teaching Spanish, Miss Eppolito in 7th and 8th grade math. Mrs. Schaefer, Miss Chapman, and Mrs. McElfatrick assist students in 3rd, 4th, and 1st grade. Then there's the mystery man, the substitute Mr. Mancini. When the kids see him, they say, "Hooray! Mr. Muscles is our aide." September got on with its normal highlights. The banner raising, student council speeches, the ice cream social Friday night. Dot Day, started by 3rd grade, was celebrated by everyone this year. Students and teachers covered with colourful dots ear to ear. October was busy. We had assemblies and more. The fire trucks for pre-K and the jump rope guy who amazed us with tricks galore. Rick Smith Jr., the YouTube card throwing star. Across the gym cards went flying. My goodness, that was far. The Halloween sleepover at Camp Bryn was a frightful success. Who is behind Freddy, Jason, and Pennywise? I really can't guess. Traveling through the haunted house was quite scary, especially when the doors gave way and opened up to the pet cemetery. The food was good. We enjoyed the famous Chick-fil-A tray, and many tried their balance on the surfboard and danced with the DJ. The juggler as entertainment was nothing to fear, but maybe we should invite the Snake Man back for next year. Alas, it was time to watch the movie, The House with a Clock in the Wall. But was anyone watching? Nope, no one at all. Then lights out to sleep boys separate from girls in the gym. You woke up ready to go, but the adults needed coffee filled to the brim. The lower grades prepared for their Halloween parade. It was a wet, rainy day, but the Halloween festivities would not be delayed. Through the building we marched, a new parade route. Everyone in costumes, creative, scary, and cute. Then we passed by the parents, Buzz Lightyear leading the way. They cheered and they clapped, no rain could ruin this day. Then into the classroom for parties and fun. Then the half day was over, conferences for everyone. A food drive for Thanksgiving demonstrated that our community pulled together as one. We put out a call for 15 turkeys and got 31. Then grandparents and special people filed into our school. Their teachers prepared special lessons, proving they rule. This year, Mrs. Ziegler felt our 3rd, 4th, and 5th grade chorus was tops. So she entered us into the B101 contest, a chance to sing with the pups. The chorus sang Hot Chocolate with incredible voices, leading us to the top final 9 choices. We spent all day Wednesday voting and listening to the radio to hear it, feeling so proud of our great song and our holiday spirit. Disappointed when we didn't hear our school chosen on the station, but pride swelled in our hearts at the concert when the parents gave a standing ovation. For Giving Tuesday, Miss Reed climbed a mountain with each 1,000 we raised. Wearing lederhosen by the outpouring of generosity, she was amazed. By the evening, the goal of 10,000 we did meet. So off the cliff Miss Reed jumped. I wonder if she landed on her feet. Kindergarten through 5th grade had their holiday concert one special December night. Everyone was dressed to the nines. It was a beautiful sight. Even better than that was the sound that filled the air. The children's voices, the bell chimes, the two bands playing, nothing could compare. The PTO provided refreshments and treats for the night. Hot chocolate with marshmallows and cookies, what a delight. It was a great time for everyone, the songs and holiday cheer. I think that in February, we'll start practicing for next year. And who could forget Deal or No Deal between students and faculty? Hot chocolate, snacks, a dance party with the spirit, and a holiday movie. All of that because we joined forces and came together to collect lots of toys. We know the happiness will fill the halls down at CHUP, bringing smiles to all of the girls and the boys. On the ramp this year, it looked like Santa crashed through the roof when he got out of his sled. But at least it's helped our upper graders look where they're going, or they'd get a Santa boot in the head. But alas, one more event that would make any reindeer happily prance. It's the upper grade formal winter holiday dance. The upper grade students looked so great at the holiday dance, the dresses and so many shirts and ties. Every year I say it, I really think that should be our upper grade dress code. Wouldn't that be wise? So today in the 8th grade, every student was slouching asleep in their seat. I doubted that anyone could get to their feet. So off to dreamland they went, and their teachers didn't mind, 'cause the teachers fell asleep too and left their unmarked papers behind. The students slept good and sound as if in their beds, while visions of A+s danced in their heads. When out in the hall there arose such a clatter, I sprang from my desk to see what was the matter. So away to the door I flew like a flash and looked down the hall as I heard a large crash. When what to my wondering eyes did appear, but what looked like the 8th grade, the class of 2020, atop 23 tiny reindeer. With a little old driver so lively and quick, I knew in a moment it was the Penryn spirit dressed up as St. Nick. More rapid than at dismissal, up the ramp they now came, so I whistled and shouted and called them each by name.
First, here comes Michael, always so kind and so fair. Did you ever notice how he perfectly parts his dark hair? Not one strand out of place, combed just off the center for a part. But more noticeable than that is the size of his heart.
Next up is Dimitri, with a smile and a wink. It must be the caffeine in his energy drink. On weekends, he pulls all-nighters playing video games, and has probably given all of his special Nike shoes their own names.
And then there's Melissa, who can probably tap dance in her sleep. But when she's in school, you won't hear her make a peep. She spends time with her rat, snuggled and nestled on her lap. I am sure she is secretly teaching them how to tap.
Watch out! Hi-ya! Steven is on the way. He's a black belt in karate, so he can break up any fray. It's not just boards that he can crack any code. Shh! Don't disturb him. He's working hard on making securely a road.
And here comes our student council president now. She is no stranger to performing and taking a bow. She's talented, kind-hearted, and wears a smile daily. Have you guessed our next reindeer? Yes, it is Bailey.
On now to a student who is part of the band, the greatest saxophone player in all of Penryn land. He always has a solo, he plays and we cheer. But another true talent that Matthew has is bowling, I hear.
Who is that doing flips on the rings in the gym? Oh, it's Nicholas, the gymnast performing skills that are new to him. But we'd never watch him and say, "Uh-oh, stinky," because that's just a meme. He has earned many medals on the mat rings and balance beam.
Flying up next is Matthew K. On Classroom, answering questions he did slay. Whether leading a group as a star student or participating in the GOB, you wouldn't find anyone more prudent.
Who writes and reads until the wee hours of the morning? Why, it's Melinda. She's full of great stories that aren't boring. Give her a pen and a notebook, she'll make something great. She's quiet and reserved, except when she can create.
And then there is Isabel, who began school with a new do. While in class, she likes to draw and doodle, it's true. On dress down days, You will see her sporting a funky style, and I heard at Stony Acres, she definitely went the extra mile.
Who loves a good joke and can solve problems in his sleep? Jacob Spangler, of course, a unique one to meet. OM Master and Video Game Pro. Ask him what he's thankful for, and he'll say his big toe.
And then there is Trent, who just adores his new pet. When you ask him about it, all proud he does get. He'll tell you that his dog is made of pixels, which might make you laugh, until you realize that he created his dog in the game of Minecraft.
Look out, here comes Ankatha, out of her way, do not block. She's rushing to show us the latest TikTok. Or maybe it's something she read about Tom Holland. When it comes to anything Spider-Man, she is definitely in La La Land. Is that a quad I hear? Then it's most likely no other. Robert Rooney driving fast, so be smart and take cover. If you miss him speeding by, don't worry, don't yield. You can also find him playing on the baseball field.
Look who's up next. Dylan is our next reindeer to fly. Always playing ice hockey, you might see him skate by. If he's not playing hockey, then he might be on the beach during break, traveling, relaxing, every chance he can take.
Now here comes our next reindeer up the ramp, ready to go. It's Alex Myers, the basketball pro. Outside on the court, shooting hoops is where you'll find him, or rebounding and going for slam dunks in the gym.
Our next reindeer always has the perfect pitch, whether it's hurling fastballs or musical theater where she has also found her niche. If she isn't on the softball field, then you might find her at a Broadway show. Which is better, Beetlejuice, Aladdin, or Hamilton? Ella, what's your opinion? I'd really like to know.
Kara is next. She is always smiling, walking proud with a spring in her step. What tune is she jamming to right now? Anything from Aladdin is your best bet. Yes, Kara has always been filled with the Penryn spirit. As a cheerleader, she would cheer loud so everyone could hear it. And then there is Parth, who loves and excels at any video game. This guy is so good, he should be in the Gaming Hall of Fame. He can also be found watching anime. No game, no life is what he might say.
And now for a fella who reads books lightning fast. Spending time hanging out with Chris is always a blast. His humor is full of sarcasm and wit, and with this year's 8th grade, this makes him a really good fit.
And now here comes Declan, our chess-playing champion expert. You will notice him likely wearing a plaid shirt. Having long hair used to be your claim to fame. Did chopping it off help increase your score on your video game?
Our dear Abby girl is always happy, you know, and is the only student here who had a pet pig named Bo. If you read some of her writing, it will make you cry. This year in soccer, she surely did fly.
And last to be called, but always leading the way, is Alex Mingione on his latest crusade. Alex is concerned with what the cafeteria sells kids. Yes, those super sugared up Techie Hill drinks. He knows all the numbers, grams and calories of the UTHD bottles of teas. What does UTHD stand for? You really want to know? Unhealthy Turkey Hill drinks in nutrition are low. Alex calculated and worked hard to convince me to help him stop the insane amount of tea that went through our students' bodies each day. But alas, I told him it's their choice to eat that way. So we came to an understanding of why students are offered choices in the food that they can buy. If presented with nutritional facts, they could see the calories, the sugar, fat grams, an unhealthy spree. Maybe, just maybe, they will make a better choice. I'm so proud of Alex for raising his voice. All of his hard work proves that he cares for his friends at Penryn, and this sure does show where the true Penryn spirit begins. Then we all hear the hushed tone and soothing voice of Mrs. Verbiage giving us the dismissal news on the
Please
PA.
get quiet, get ready, and get seated for the announcement, she'll say. 'Cause if you're not, I'll talk even louder today. Anyone not going by bus today is a car rider. anyone not going home by car today, you must get on the bus. Anyone who doesn't want to go home, go to extended day care.
So up toward the gym, the reindeer they flew, with a sleigh full of 8th graders and the Spirit driving too. And then in a twinkling, I heard on the roof the prancing and pawing of each little hoof. As I put down my laptop and was turning around, down the ramp raced the Spirit with a resounding bound. He was dressed all in white from his head to the floor, and he wore an elf hat, and he needed nothing more. He was cute and had a tail, a real spirit of an elf, and I laughed when I saw him in spite of myself. His eyes, how they twinkled as he got 8th grade in his sight, then looked at the class and pulled his cap tight. His droll little mouth was drawn up like a bow, and the color of his skin was as white as the snow. The Spirit took his magic red pen that he held tight as he did something to all teachers' grade books that didn't look quite right. He spoke not a word and went straight to his work and filled all the stockings, then turned with a smirk. The stockings were filled, that was for sure, but the Spirit left something else the class had dreamed for. When they logged into RenWeb, every teacher did find rows and rows of A+. It just boggled their mind. As the 8th graders awoke and rubbed at their eyes, their dreams of high school were not yet realized. So here at Penryn is where they'll stay with work to complete. A couple more months with their teachers they'll meet. And laying a finger aside of his nose, the Spirit gave a nod, and up the chimney he rose. He sprang to his sleigh, and to the students then waved, and away they all flew. Another 8th grade had been saved. As the Spirit gave a last nod, his sleigh could be seen by plenty, passing our flagpole with the banner that says Penryn Class of 2020. And I heard him exclaim as he flew out of sight, "Merry Christmas to all, and keep your Penryn spirit shining bright."